You are the mighty King. Those who know their God will do as God. You are the mighty one in battles. You are Lord, mighty King. You are God, Jehovah. You are Lord, mighty King. You are God, Jehovah. Somebody help me sing.
You are Lord, mighty King.
You are Lord.
You are God, Jehovah.
You are Lord.
You are Lord,
Mighty King.
mighty King.
You are Lord. You are Lord.
You are God, Jehovah.
Oh,
You are Lord,
you are Lord.
mighty King.
You are God.
You are God, Jehovah.
When I look around me, all I see is fear. The world is turning over, all hopes are fake done. It's your love and mercy that keeps my heart strong. My life is turning around with all of your grace. You are love.
You are Lord,
You are love.
mighty King. You are God, Jehovah.
You are love.
You are Lord, mighty King.
You are the mighty
You
King.
are God, Jehovah.
The mighty one in battle.
Mighty King.
You are love.
You are God, Jehovah.
Ìwọ ni ọba ńlá. Ìwọ ni Jehovah.
All right, welcome everybody. Thank you very much for joining this episode of my show today. Thank you. If you're connecting, let me know exactly where you're connecting from. And I want you to do me a favor real quick. You can go ahead and just share this video on your wall if you're actually connecting from Facebook. If you're connecting from Facebook, please go ahead and just share this on your wall so we can get more people connected by the grace of God. And as you're coming in, I want you to follow this page, follow this new page. This is where I'm going to be doing my videos from now until the other page will be open by the grace of God. So for you, if you really want to help out, just go ahead and share this video right on your wall. I know that these 10 people that are watching me right now, you guys are not my good fans. Number one, you are not saying anything. It's a pity. I'm really sorry. I think I have my guys who always want to say hi to me. I have my guys who always want to help out. But I see that those people that are here right now are not those people. So I'm going to wait for those guys. I'm going to wait for my people. Those ones who are actually in love with me, the ones I love so much, they are actually ready to do anything. Good morning, Olumese David. This is one of them right here. This is one of them right here. Thank you very much for joining Mr. Olumese David, all the way from Nigeria. God bless you. Please go ahead and share this video. Share it. And if you want to say hi to me, you can go ahead and just say hi inside of the video, just for me to know who you are, where you're connecting from. May God Almighty bless you. The topic we want to share today is a big one. And I believe everyone should be ready for this so that we will be able to actually get to a point where we will all know that we must have done something good. We must have done something good this afternoon or this morning, wherever you are. Yomi Alao, thank you. Daniel Gia, good morning. All right. The topic before us is how to handle outside kids and marriage. This has been a kind of a terrible thing, very big issue in Nigerian community. I don't want you guys to be silent, please. Liz Adeleke, It's not good to be silent. You're not giving motivation at all. You're not motivating. If you're not motivating, it's not going to be good at all. You need to come all the way out. You need to come out. Be supportive. Support. Say something. Make comments. All right. When you do that, you are motivating whosoever it is that is actually speaking, whoever is talking. I will know that I'm talking to living people. All right. If I'm just here, I'm actually talking about myself. It's going to be like I'm talking to myself, like I'm talking to dead people. But when you come out and say, hello, how are you doing? Good morning. Then I know that people are listening and they are real people. They are real people. You know what I'm saying? Every day matters. God bless you. Thank you very much. Happy Friday to you also. God bless you. Now, when we're talking about marriage, marriage is very complicated. I always say this all the time, and I want everybody to believe it. Believe it, believe it, believe it. If you don't believe it, you're going to end up in a lot of problems. I've been counseling a lot of people lately, and it's been so much fun because I'm personally learning a lot from all of this stuff. I'm gaining more understanding when it comes to the issue of marriage, and I'm trying to apply it to my own life also. I'm trying to apply all of this stuff to my life. It's not easy when you sit down and people are sitting right in front of you talking to you about what they are going through. All right, you are going to be able to learn a lot from it, and at the same time you're going to be able to feel their pain, and most of the time when you go home, it's not easy for you to forget. It's not easy for you to forget. Ejiro, how are you doing? God bless you. Thank you very much. Now I know you're real. Wind, babes win. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you. So you can't forget. It's a kind of experience that cannot be forgotten. Experience that can never be forgotten. You can never forget. It's either that stuff is going to change you and make you a better person, all right, or if something else is going to happen. All right, for me, I take all of this stuff home and I sit down and I think about it and I ruminate over it. And I look at my own marriage, my own relationship. I look at what exactly is missing there. What are the problems I'm facing here? How do you think I can actually handle this stuff and deal with this stuff in a good way? And at the end of the whole stuff, my wife is actually going to have peace. So people believe that Pastor Shola is preaching to give women peace. Of course, yes. And at the same time, I'm preaching to give you peace as a man. A man needs peace. You need peace. You need to have peace. You need to be able to lie down in peace, sit in peace, watch your TV in peace, go out to work in peace, and live your life in peace. And likewise, women need peace also. All right. So whatever it is that I say on my show is to actually make peace to reign. If I'm asking you to bend, it's because I want you to have peace. If I want you to forgive, it's because I want you to have peace. If I want you to sacrifice, it's because I want you to have peace. Go to the kitchen to help your wife is for peace sake. Satisfy your wife in bed is for peace sake. Satisfy your husband in bed is for peace sake. All right. Respect your husband. It's for peace sake. All right. Submit to one another is for peace sake, for God's sake. It's not for anything. I'm not trying to make the woman the head of the home and the man the sissy. No. I'm trying to make it to every one of us to see that life is changing. The world is changing. Everything is changing right now. And even God, even though he does not change, but he's changing things around. And that's the reason we call him the unchangeable changer. Him who changes things but remain constant. That's who he is. All right. So we all must come to that understanding that things are changing. Women are being empowered now. Women are going to work now. They're going to school. They're becoming superheroes. And they're making crazy money right now. So they deserve to actually be respected also. So it's not going to be only men that deserve to be respected. Women actually deserve to be respected also. If you don't respect them for the money they're making, respect them for the kids. Carrying the pregnancy for 9 months, giving birth to the baby, breastfeeding the baby, and all kinds of stuff. Give them credit and respect them for that. If you don't want to respect them for the job they do, for the money they make, respect them because they sacrifice themselves on the bed for sexual satisfaction. Give them respect for that. Give them respect for even marrying you in the first place. But see, I would say give them respect for the job they're doing, give them respect for the money they're making, give them respect for where they are in the society today, and give them respect for everything they do within the home, and give them respect because they are your wife. She is your wife. Respect her for that reason. All right? So at this point, you're supposed to understand that we are all supposed to work together for peace. We are all supposed to work together for enjoyment. We're supposed to work together for a long-lasting relationship. We're supposed to bend here. We're supposed to bend over there. We're supposed to sacrifice here. We're supposed to sacrifice over there, so that at the end of the whole stuff, we are going to reign in peace. And peace will reign in our lives. All right? So that's the essence of it all. You see, nobody should be contesting. Nobody should be competing. You see, competition in marriage is not going to take you guys anywhere. It's going to destroy that marriage. And we are too much egocentric that we don't see the effect of competition over our marriage. We don't see the result, the end point of competition, what competition we give back to in our homes. Now, the very first thing that will happen in a relationship is that the man will think, I can live my life without you, which is true. And the woman will come up and say, you know what, I can live my life without you too, which is true. In those days, it wasn't true because women don't have that power. But these days, they do have the power. Many of them are registered nurses, many of them are pharmacists and doctors, many of them are into the IT world and stuff like that, and they're making $20,000 a month. I don't say the kind of life they want to live that they cannot live. The moment they have the power of money, it's possible for them to live the kind of life they want to live. So the two of us can actually live without each other. We can live, the man can live without the wife can live without the husband, and everybody will go their own way. It's possible to do so. But are we encouraging people to do that? No. It doesn't matter how powerful you may be. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter how, I don't know. We still must actually learn to walk together. Learn to work together. Abiola Ola, God bless you. Faith, thank you very much. Or Oluwa Kemi Bakri, God bless you. We must still learn to work together. Two independent people who could live their life by themselves alone, but now having an agreement to live together. And that's where the respect is going to come from. The respect will come from, okay, it's possible for her to live without me, good, but she's sacrificing that freedom to be with me. All right? And that's the reason why a man should respect the wife. And the wife will say, well, and the wife will say, well, he could live his life without me. All right? So, and he's sacrificing to be with me right now, so I need to respect him for that. So you respect people because they sacrifice for you. Respect people because they gave up their own life because of you. Respect people because they chose to live with you and to be with you. All right? That's where respect is supposed to come from. And as you respect each other, you put things together, you begin to see the result of the union. One will taste 1,000. One will taste 1,000. So when you two are actually single, all you could get is 1,000. But when the two of you come together, the Bible says, and two will chase 10,000. So instead of you doing it alone, or him doing it alone, why don't we just come together, and then our prosperity can go to power, raise to power 10. That's what I preach. That's what I think the best. That's the way I think marriage will work. All right, when we now come into a relationship like that, there are so many things that will happen in marriage that are actually have not been foreseen. Many of us, we ignore a lot of things. And when you are courting, when you're dating, or probably when you're in friendship, you refuse to ask the guy, are you married? Have you been married before? Tell me about your marital status. What is your marital status? Some people will lie to you. They will say they are single. And being single doesn't mean that they've never been married before. They only believe that because at this moment I'm single, I don't have a wife, so they will tell you I am single. But for real, they're not. They're supposed to refer to themselves as a divorcee. I've been divorced. I'm a divorcee. That's your marital status. That's who you should call yourself. I'm a divorcee. You are not supposed to be ashamed of that name, of that title. That's a good title. That title is better than someone that we are not able to ask who is actually rotting inside a grave, or someone who is in a psychiatric hospital that we are not even able to talk to. All right. So that particular title is actually a very beautiful title because you are alive to tell your own story. You are alive to rectify your mistakes. You are alive to do it again. So it's a very beautiful moment, a very, very beautiful time that we all need to actually be happy to mention it, happy to say it. I'm a divorcee. You are not supposed to kill yourself because of that. It's not a disease. It's not a sin. All right? It's not a disease. It's not a sin. All right? You need to be happy about it because you're alive. If you don't want to be happy about anything, you think you're failed. All right? Some people think I'm a failure because I'm a divorcee. I failed myself. I failed God. I failed my parent. I failed this person, my children, and all that. I'm sorry. I don't see you as failure. I see you as a success because you've been able to choose life instead of dying. My mindset is different. My own mindset is totally different. The way I reason is different. All right? So it's possible for them not to be able to tell you. It's possible for them to hide it. And they didn't tell you that they've been married before. Probably you're too, oh my God, I'm too excited the first time in my life to have a boyfriend. And you refuse to ask them, do you have kids before? Do you have kids? You know, you're supposed to have women. You know, there are so many women. That, do you believe a woman with 2 kids didn't even mention the 2 kids at all for 2 good years of friendship and courtship? And they got married and they moved in together and they started living together until one day, probably about 2-3 years after the marriage, the man eventually found out that this woman has got 2 kids. I don't know about you, but I feel very, I don't know. It's crazy here. It is crazy. It's crazy for real. You know, I really don't understand. I don't know how to understand this. I don't know how it's not possible for me to lay my hands upon anything. For a woman to keep such a thing like that. I'm talking about you keeping it for 2 years of friendship and courtship, another 2 years in marriage for the man to find out after 4 years that you have 2 kids. That's a terrible life. How do we handle such? You know, what do you expect? How do you expect the man now, this man who sacrificed, you know, looking at the beautiful sisters, oh my God, this sister is so beautiful. I think I need to marry this sister. And they started as friends, and I don't understand, maybe the kids are living in a house, and you know, for 2 good years of courtship and then for friendship, and you decided to pop the question and say, will you marry me? And you didn't get to know. You didn't get to know nothing about the woman. I'm not going to lie to you. See, listen, the moment that guy, you know, found out that particular issue about 1 child or two kids, the next thing is that there's still going to be more. There's still going to be more secrets in this relationship. If you are able to hide a big issue like this is not a small thing. This is a big issue. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a big issue. If you succeeded in hiding this big issue for 4 good years, there must be other secrets. Maybe your womb is out. Maybe you have HIV. Maybe you are not even who you say you are. It means that that marriage is based on secrecy, is based on lies. And that's no marriage anyway. If you ask me what should he do, I will tell that guy to move on in his life. You can't live with such a woman like that. For real, you can't. You can't. But this time around, let's now look at it. There are so many men too. So many men. They don't even know they have seeds all over the world. They don't know they are Mr. Fine Boy. You know all this Mr. Fine Boy kind of guy that is always going from one city to another city. Every time you get to a city, you bang somebody. Every time you go to a town, you bang somebody. When you go to America, bang somebody there. London, banging. Afghanistan, banging. Bangladesh, banging. You banged everybody all over. You were spreading your seeds all over the world. And you didn't get to know that the one you banged in America just got pregnant and she's now with a kid. The one you banged in London got pregnant too. The one you banged in Nigeria is pregnant right now. And they're all carrying kids. And now later down the road, you found out this stuff and you didn't know before. Now you want to tell your wife that, you know what, Sissy, the last time I visited London, that was a mistake I made. I made a mistake in London. Even what mistake is that? When I was in London, the devil was pushing me like this. where was the devil pushing you? The devil pushed me. He pushed me and I was in a club. When you now go to the club, what happened? So the devil opened my eyes like this. When the devil opened your eyes, then what happened? What happened? He said, so when my eyes now happened like that, the devil now brought one girl in front of me. Yes. So when the devil brought the girl in front of me, what else did the devil do? So the devil now drove us to the house, and then we go to the house. The devil now gave us a bottle of wine, and we now finished drinking that wine. So the devil now took my pint off. Okay, when the devil took your pint off, what happened? So the devil took our own pints off too. Yes, Mr. Devil is always doing that. So what else did Mr. Devil do? So Mr. Devil now carried me and put me on top of the woman. Okay, when Mr. Devil, what did you now do? It's always the devil. The devil is in trouble in this. So the devil now places you on top of the woman, yes. So the devil now put your banana inside of the cookie. He said, yeah, I was now stroking it. It was the devil that was removing my bum and putting me back like that. And now came like 2 days ago, yes. The devil now called me. The devil called you. What did the devil say? The devil now said, hey, I'm pregnant. The devil is pregnant. The devil is pregnant. No, he said that I was pregnant. He said the devil was pregnant. Yes, I asked if he now gave back to a baby boy, and the boy is 2 years old. The devil's boy is 2 years old now. You see what I'm saying now? You come home like that to come over and now start telling stories to your wife and stuff like that. Because I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna do the second part of this particular video, and that's for the women. The women one is very funny. Even the devil will say, Baba God, this one I like. Allah. So now you are coming home right now to give your wife that kind of a stupid news, and how do you want the woman now to react? Now, there are two different ways. It is possible for you to have had kids before you got married to that woman. All right, kids outside of wedlock. All right, 2 kids now, or maybe 1 kid outside. So if you have 1 kid outside, or 2 kids, or 3 kids outside, automatically before you settle with the new woman, you're supposed to have put everything on the table. Like when you guys were friends, you're supposed to ask questions like, okay, do you have kids? Say, yeah, I do. And you're supposed to put it on the table and say, yeah, on the table is stuff. Adolami, how are you? And you're supposed to put it on the table and say, you know what, I got 2 kids, or I got 1 kid, or I got 10 kids, or you know what I'm saying? Put it on the table. Let the woman ask you questions as in like, okay, so what are you going to do about them? You're supposed to make sure you have plans. All right. Now that's the part. Now, if you are now coming after marriage. You didn't do it before marriage. You now come after marriage. You see, if you do it before marriage, it's actually very good. The woman will be able to prepare her mind. Women love to prepare. They love to prepare their minds and say, you know what? Okay, now my husband that I'm married, he's got kids outside. Okay, so I need to work with it. I need to handle this stuff, the way I need to handle it. And then she's going to be calm about it. And then she'll handle that case and everything will be fine. Now, but if you are giving her a surprise, 2 years after marriage, you're not coming up to now share the issue of now you have a kid outside, and the kid is just only 2 months old, 1 month old. The devil got pregnant and the devil is having a kid right now, and you just want the woman to just accept it and just smile and say, it's all right, Mr. Dimeji, all is well. It doesn't go that way. And it's never going to work that way. For any woman, it doesn't matter if they are educated or if they're not. It will not work for them. See, when you are bringing a shocker like that home, always remember and put yourself in the shoe of that woman you're about to share the news with. What will you say? What will you do? I'm not saying don't go and be having outside kids, but are you ready to handle it? Do you really know how to handle such a thing like that? And this stuff is possible for you to destroy homes. It's possible for you to destroy your marriage. All right? It depends on the way you handle it. Depends on the way you are bringing it into the marriage. That's what will create the effect. The way your wife will react to it, it depends on you. Now, having an outside kid is not it can happen. Let me not lie to you. It can happen. You have an outside kid, and then it has happened. You made a mistake, and when you come home, you open it up to your wife, and you tell the truth, 1000% the truth. That's what you say, 1000%. All right, say it, and let the devil be put to shame. But see, it's not about you telling the truth now, and then you now go back outside and do the same thing, and then you come back and say, I've made another mistake again. It's good for you to make mistake one time, but make up your mind that one time it will never happen again. Now, do you know what you have damaged? What you've damaged in the life of that woman when you came home to share with her, I got somebody pregnant and the person is having a kid right now. Now, you've damaged a lot of stuff. Now the trust is broken. The love has been shifted. That love is now standing on one leg. Her heart is bleeding. At the same time, she is actually depressed because right now she's no longer happy. This is the man I've depended on, the man that I love so much. I care about him. I've trusted this man over the years. And this time around, see how she has dragged me into the mud. We need to always want to think about the other person. When you're coming into a relationship and you are sharing this kind of situation, think about them. Think about how they will feel. Think about the way they are going to react to it. By you, first of all, putting yourself in their shoes. So when you come home to share such, be ready. Always make sure you're ready to help her, to work on it, and to heal. And you must never do it again. Now, when you fall into error the first time, it's not because you are really, really dumb, but sometimes people are dumb. But when you fall into error the first time, it's all about a lesson. I'll teach you this is not supposed to be done this way. But if you enter into that same error the second time, it becomes intentional. That means you are really doing it intentionally. It means that's what you want to do in the first place. And there's no way you want to come home the second time to tell your wife, I have another kid outside. For we Christians, pastors always want us to forgive. That's fine. Christians are supposed to forgive no matter what. Your husband has cheated on you, good. Forgive him. It's possible. But will he stay and just stay within that same circle and within that same trust and promise? Will he be able to maintain the promise that it will never happen again? Will he be? Some people will promise, but they go right back and do the same thing. The same woman that he promised he will never go back to, that is the same woman he will go back to. The same thing they actually promised never to do, that's the same thing they're going to go back and do. And this is the problem that we're facing in African community. That our men keeps falling into the same mistake, the same error over and over again and again, many times. Now they're going to render somebody outside a single mother. You're not ready to marry that one, but you know how to sleep with them. Now they're pregnant, and now she's finding out that you're already a married man. How is she going to live her life? She's not going to start living her life as a single mother. And that's why we have all of these single mothers all around. Because they were looking for a husband, and they found you. And then you say, oh, I'm a single boy. I'm not married. And the next thing is you guys start having sex. And she got pregnant, and then she found out you're a married man. Who's going to marry her now? How easy do you think it's going to be for her to find a man that will marry her with a kid? How many men can sit down and say, you know what? I want to marry that single mother. How many? Very few. So you render them useless, you give them a child, and you let them now start walking all around as a single mother, taking care of their kids by themselves. In the first place, they were looking for a home to settle, a man to love them, a man that it's possible for them to build a family with. You show yourself up, lying to them, telling them all manners of things they want to hear. And now, you've dealt with them, they have a kid with no husband. How do you want your wife to continue to live? She's bitter right now. You have broken the trust in the marriage. And she's thinking, is it possible for me to trust this man again? Or I should just move on in my life? Do you know how many women are actually inside of this situation right now, but they are not able to share with nobody? Some of our men have 3 kids outside. Some of our men even have 4 kids outside. I was told a story of a man who has got 7 children from one woman outside of his matrimonial home. And his wife has got only 1 son. And he's got 7 outside. Now think about it. That's a big one. Alright? And if you come to the side on the part of our women too, you will understand that there are so many children, even inside our homes, that do not belong to us, biological children. So many of our men in Africa, they're taking care of a bastard. Kids that doesn't even belong to them at all. I read a story of one man who's got 3 kids, and none of those kids belongs to him. Brought the kids from outside and gave them the name of the guy. And that man is taking care of kids that doesn't belong to him. And sometimes they will find out after they do DNA tests, probably because they want to come overseas, and the American government are demanding for a DNA test to know, is this your biological child or not? And that's going to be the time they're going to find out. And you find out that somebody's going to die. Either the man is going to kill himself or the wife is going to kill herself. And then they leave those kids alone to suffer. Secrecy is just a lot. But one thing I want to quickly just advise people is this. Listen. Children, they are the blessings of God. Either they belong to you or they belong to another person. When you take care of kids, it's like taking care of God's mind. These are God's children. It's possible for your husband to make mistakes, but when they make mistakes, let them come home and share it and be truthful about it and don't do it again. The path of forgiveness is not easy. It takes a while. Be ready to go through that path. Maybe 4 years, maybe 5 years. Help the woman to heal. Promise and actually fulfill your promise by not falling into the same error over and over again and again. Very important. And for women, I really don't think, going outside to get pregnant is the best thing in life. You want to ruin your own future by yourself. If you know you are no longer interested in your husband, divorce him and go marry the new guy. But you can't be married to one and be having sex with another, and be having children for that one and bringing that baby to your home and giving that kid another man's name. That's too complicated. That is too complicated. You go outside, you got pregnant through another man, and that man will allow you to carry his own baby into another man's house, and you give the name of the other guy to the baby. That's just too complicated. It's too complicated. And that's going to ruin your future anyway. The best thing for you to do is just to divorce that man. Tell the man, I'm no longer in love with you. I think I found someone that I'm in love with, and I want to move on in my life. Instead of we creating all of these complicated cases and issues, all around, why can't you just tell yourself, you know what? Let me just move on. I'll be able to live my life truthfully. I'm no longer connected with my husband. I find another guy I'm connected with, then move on in your life. Why do you have to get pregnant for one and bring that bastard home for the other? And for some people, just imagine you got pregnant for the same man 5 times, and you brought that same pregnancy home to your husband 5 good times, and you gave them your husband's last name 5 times, and your husband is working tirelessly to send them to school, to train them, put food on the table for those kids, even love them, carry them. They sleep on his laps. They bear his name. They go to church with him. You take them to school. Tell them I love you. And you sat down in a corner and you know it that this kid doesn't belong to this guy. First year, second year, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the road. And after 20 years, you're not coming up to open up and say those kids don't belong to you. You have totally ruined the man. You killed the man totally. You killed him. And likewise some men too. The day of your burial, so many other women will come from north, from the south, from the east, from the west. And they come with children. Those kids, they will look like you. And this is going to be the first time your wife will know that you have 4 wives, 15 kids, all over the world. That woman can never be the same again. And this is what we go through every day, every blessed day. I sit down in my office to talk to people every day. And I listen to all of this all day long. When exactly are we going to talk? Are we going to stop? When are we going to be mature and deal with stuff the right way? When? When? You fall into error today, and you fall into another error tomorrow. Every day is actually one situation to another. There are some men that can never listen. All they want is just to have sex and have sex and have sex all over. And they now put problems on themselves all the time. Problems upon problems upon problems. Well, I believe I believe at this time what we need is understanding. I believe what we need is knowledge. I believe what we need is to become responsible. And most importantly, I believe we need God. 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 May the Lord be with you in the name of Jesus. I don't want to keep you guys for too long. I'm going to keep you guys for just few minutes because I got so many things to do. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram. And follow me on Facebook, especially on this new page, so we can have more fun together. I'm actually just warming up. I've been a little sick for some time, but the energy is coming back. I just took my coronavirus vaccination today. I feel like sleeping right now. That stuff is actually creeping into my body, and I could feel it right going all around. If you have not taken your vaccination yet, please go ahead and take it. It's good for us. Very good. Don't listen to all those people saying they are putting chips in your body. It's a lie. It's a stupid lie. A stupid lie. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. God bless you. I'll see you guys later by the grace of God. And if you live in Houston, Texas, you need a home church, you can go ahead and come to mine. Come to our center. We call it the Rejuvenation Center here in Houston, Texas by the grace of God. So inbox me if you want the address. I'll be able to give you the address by God's grace. God bless you, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Olúwa ṣe ìgbà táyé yọ mí ẹ̀yin làbò mi ìgbà táyé kọ mí ẹ̀yin lọ sàtọ Jésù òmòrè ẹ máa kú ìtọ́jú mi ẹ ṣé gan ni ẹ kú ìtọ́jú mi òmòrè ẹ máa kú ìtọ́jú mi o ẹ ṣé gan ẹ máa ṣe o ẹ kú ìtọ́jú mi òmòrè òmòrè. Ẹ ṣé gan ni ẹ kú ìtọ́jú mi. A dúpẹ́ bàbá fún oore ńlá rẹ̀. Èmi dúpẹ́ bàbá fún oore àánú rẹ̀. Ìgbà táyé yẹ mí, ẹ̀yin mo sàtọ̀. Ìgbà táyé yẹ̀yẹ́ mi, ẹ̀yin mo sàtọ̀. Jésù mo mú un. Oore yìí pọ̀ lórí mi. Ẹ ṣé gan ni ẹ kú ìtọ́jú mi. Èmi mo re gbogbo re Jésù o. Ẹ ṣé gan ni oore rírí jẹ́ kú ìtọ́jú mi. Rírí lọ Jésù gbogbo re. Let me sing it this way. Say, mo dúpẹ́ bàbá, kú òde là. Ògbénu Adélé bọ̀ ṣògo, mo wá jùbọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ rẹ̀ torí. Mọ́dún ṣe mọ́dún láyé o, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni oore rẹ̀ láyé mi pọ̀ sí. Pèsè ọpẹ́ nìkan, ṣùgbọ́n ó ṣe wọ́n tí mo lè ṣe. Jésù òmùmọ́re, ẹ máa kú ìtọ́jú mi o. Ẹ ṣé gan, mo wá dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ kú ìtọ́jú mi. Òmùmọ́re, oore o, oore àná oore òní o. Ẹ ṣé gan ni, ẹ ṣé o, ẹ kú ìtọ́jú mi. Ọlọ́run lọ́dọ̀ pé bí ara lè fún mi. Ẹ ṣé gan ni ẹ kú ìtọ́jú mi. Èmi nìkan ló yẹ, kò lè yé ẹnì kankan. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ìdí tí mo fi yìn bàbá. Jésù nìkan ló yẹ, èmi nìkan ló yẹ lóye. Èmi nìkan ló yẹ. Kò lè yé ẹnì kankan. Kò lè yé anybody, you know what understand. Ìdí tí mo fi yìn bàbá. Listen, Lord. They don't understand they can never understand
Kò lè yé wọn rárá rárá o.
what the Lord has done for me.
Ohun tó Olúwa ṣe fún mi o.
Now only me understand.
Èmi nìkan ló yé.
Listen, I will raise my praise.
Mo máa yan Olúwa o.
I will raise my worship.
Mo máa gbé Jésù mi ga o.
Because what God has done for me.
Ohun tó Olúwa ṣe fún mi o.
Èmi nìkan lóye.
Èmi nìkan,
Praise
èmi
the
nìkan
Lord,
ló yé.
say.
Èmi nìkan ló yé.
Èmi nìkan lóye.
Kò lè yé ẹnìkan.
Kò lè yé wọn.
Kò lè yé wọn
Kò
rárá.
lè yé wọn.
Ìdí tí mo fi yí bàbá. Jésù nìkan ló yé. Èmi nìkan ló yé.
Èmi nìkan.
Èmi nìkan ló yé. Kò lè yé ẹnìkan. You help me to finish this one. Hey. Ìdí tí mo fi yí bàbá. Jésù nìkan ló yé ló yé. Chineke kígbe.
Yeah. Inaputana. Fernando no nasobu. Akabe yegele. Ekeloma kamgeye.
I love it.
Otutoma, otutoma, otutoma. Hey. Abundi so kam kabu.
Hallelujah.
Hidi kosina idugu. Karame chineke.
Chineke.
Kamketo kelibegi. Ọkwa kisili ke buru miwa. Ọkwa kisili ka buru ke mo male. Anọ mi rugi. Kamketo